everyone, and thanks so much for waking up with me on Up with India, which technically beats the other alternative. So I'm happy to have you guys here. Today on the episode, I will be joined by Stephanie Sanford, the founder of Black Girls Hike 2, a hiking enthusiast club based in Wilmington, Delaware. Stephanie's joining me on the show to share more about the purpose of Black Girls Hike 2 and the many benefits that she believes this club has brought to Delawareans and women from surrounding areas. So I'm very happy to have her on the show. Stephanie, how are you?
Good morning and grand rising. Up with India. I'm in the building. I'm separate but together. Good morning.
Thank you so much. That's what we need in the morning. You know what I'm saying? To get
Yes.
people all ready to go for the day. I mean, Stephanie, it truly is a pleasure to have you on the show. You're someone that I've been watching in the community that has really been doing your thing and really looking for ways and pockets to uplift people. So the fact that we're here today to talk about one of your many creations, you are a very creative person, as I've seen. And so this is just one of the things that we're going to talk about today, but I hope we do get into a lot more. So thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my goodness, it's so much happening in the world right now. And
It
it's so
is.
much happening in your world. So
It
like
is.
bring me in, what has your 2020 looked like from the beginning to now where it is?
So from the beginning, I was super excited about turning 35 for some reason. You know, you just have those ages that you're just like, yes, yes. That's the way I felt about 35. My birthday was March 15th, and we got that announcement around March 12th that what was going on, we're going to be quarantined. And I was like, wait a minute, this is not what I had planned, because you know I'm a planner, right? So it's like, this is not what I had planned. And so it was really taking a step back and reconfiguring my whole entire year and going with the flow. And I'm so happy that of course, you feel a little weird saying that, because people have had loss, people have had, gotten sick and healed, and thank God for that. But I have to say, speaking for myself, it has been a great year. It's been one that is, I've gotten back in touch with myself, the core of who I am, who I want to be as a woman, and being able to share that with other people. And hiking has been one of those avenues and one of those outlets to just get back in touch with myself.
What would you say has been the most challenging part of your year thus far? I mean, we talked about the great things that are happening, and not
Yes.
to say that anything that is a challenge is not great because it
Right.
builds you and it helps you. But what has been something that has challenged you and kind of, shaped your mindset that you have today?
The challenge, honestly, has been being the best at every role that I play.
Mm,
I'm a mother.
mm,
I want to be the best at that. I'm a wife. I want to be the best at that. I'm my own person. I want to be my best self. I inadvertently became a teacher. I want to be a great teacher to my kid. I'm a chef. I don't want to say a maid in a negative sense, but yeah, that's what it is. I'm a chef. I'm a maid. I'm a cook. I just want to, I'm a friend. And
yeah.
so whatever role that I embrace, or whatever role that is given to me, or wherever I find myself, I want to be my best at that. And so when all of the roles are colliding, and oftentimes you're doing it in one place. Listen, I had insomnia. I was suffering from insomnia. And it was funny. I was preparing my talking points, and I was talking to my friend about it. I'm like, I just really realized that I was not sleeping. I was not sleeping during that, because it's like, oh, I'm gonna be here tomorrow. Same routine. And just thinking about, man, what could I be doing? Oh, am I doing this right? Am I da da da? And it's just like, no, I needed something else to calm
Yeah.
all the thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Insomnia is definitely something that a lot of people face. I mean, all of
Yes.
and I've even dealt with that at some point.
Yes.
And it is hard. The pandemic had definitely made a lot of people feel like anxiety, that anxiety of not
Yes.
knowing what was going to come next.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what kept me up at night. So I can definitely relate to that. Outside of, all of your many roles, which we're going to kind of dig in different ways, because I do want to talk about that piece of you being
Sure.
a mom and all of those different things. But one of the things that stands out to your followers or the people that follow you is your entrepreneurship journey that I've
Oh
seen.
yeah, I forgot about to mention that. I like dibbling and dabbling in some stuff.
Trying to, working toward being the best entrepreneur. So, what has your journey been to getting into that space in terms of entrepreneurship?
India, I can honestly say ever since I was about 6 years old, my mom and dad tell this funny joke about how I would, or little story about I would sit them down in the living room. Guys, sit down. Come on, me and my sister, my two sisters 2 years younger than me, and I would make her be like, she can sing, so she would sing songs, and I would be the host, and we would have these whole shows, and I would take pieces of paper, and I made two copies, and they got a program. I've
Mm,
been putting shows on. I've been entertaining. I have been like making people smile and loving that and finding great joy in that since I was about 5, 6 years old.
wow.
And so it was also about, okay, hey, I'm up at night. Bring it back to 2020. I'm up at night. What can I do? Oh, I know. I'll do what I was doing at 6. I listen. I can entertain people. I can put a show together. So that's how that kind of came together. And it's just been, people think that I thought, I'm gonna speak for myself. I thought entrepreneurship was just gonna be like, it's not. It's not. It's like, oh, I like this over here. Oh, I like this too. And I like this too. Oh, okay. Now, oh, here we go. And now I'm finding things how I can pull it all together. So
Right.
that's been my journey.
Gary Vee talks about that. He talks about being able to try different things. He is a businessman that is most
Yes.
notable. People know, and he talks about trying different things to figure out
Yes.
what is it that you like, because you won't know until you do it.
Mm-mm.
So you talk about this piece of creating live events. Talk to me about some of those live events that you created. We are going to get into Black Girls Hike 2000.
Yeah, we'll get to that. It's plenty.
Does so much that she's multifaceted, and I think
Thank
that
you.
this is the perfect time to share more about that. So,
Thank you. So previous events have been 2019. I ended with a couples game night.
mm,
You know how we see these things, we see fun YouTube videos or different shows. I think sometimes we become very, very complacent, even when we don't always have to take a vacation. We don't have to book a flight. We can literally create exciting moments and memories right here at home. And so I know at the time I was just seeing a lot of couples going through problems and different things. And I'm like, cause you're not having fun. And I'm not judgy, but oh, you're talking about the problems. We can't focus on just our problems. We have to bring fun to the relationship. So couples game night, it was amazing. I made all of them match. Everybody got a match. We got to have some, unity up in this joint. So we had a couples game night, and then the second event that I did was a girls' night out. Been doing that since I was 25 years old, over 10 years. Just love it. There's nothing more powerful than a group of women coming together and the synergy that is created in that group.
why did you create Girls Night Out? What was the purpose of that?
So at
Outside of the obvious, name.
No, I got you. Trust me. I got a story. 23, I was 23 years old, I went through a really, really bad breakup. And I thought you couldn't tell me I wasn't about, much older, going through a divorce and all these like I just had this story created in my mind that this was the worst thing ever. It wasn't. It was not. And literally, in my bedroom, 1 o'clock at night, again, remember that insomnia, the Lord just was speaking to me like, how many other women do you think might be going through it this way? How many other women do you think that are processing breakups and heartache and all this other stuff? How many women? It's not just you. So you need to get together and talk about that, because you talking about and you sharing your story is going to be healing for other people. And not only is it healing for other people, but it's healing for yourself. There's nothing that I've ever put out the table. People's like, don't be open. And why not? We're all dealing with things behind closed doors. Nobody's saying, hey, I'm suffering with this, I'm suffering with that. But it's freedom and healing when you do that. So that's where that came from.
Yeah, transparency,
That's
I
it.
think this is really a theme in a lot of the interviews that I've been doing. I mean, the people that are successful at what they do, they're not afraid to
Can't
share
be.
that
Can't
there
be.
was a point when they weren't their best self. right? And so
Yes.
in developing that person, you went from creating Girls Night Out, you've hosted all of these different events, and then now fast forward, you're able to relate to women in a whole nother way, in a whole nother chapter of your
Mhm.
life, through Black Girls Hike 2. So
Right.
why was Black Girls Hike 2 created?
So going back to the insomnia, I was literally I was up at night and I'm like, man, you always got to go back to, for me it's helpful to go back to childhood. What did I like doing? What can I do? You know what was always there and was always available is nature. Nature. Somebody said to me the other day, it's raining outside, but it's still a beautiful day outside. When you think about that, it's like, yes. So I said, let me try to go for a walk. And this time I don't want to just go for a walk. I want to try to hike. So I went out, found a trail, and I said, "Oh my God, this is it." I heard running water. The sun was shining on me the first time I went out. It was summertime, I think I started. And it was just such a beautiful day. And the amount of healing, the amount of happiness, the amount of joy, the amount of, I'm going to be honest with you, even forgiveness for myself that I felt. I was like, what am I feeling? And I said, oh no, this is it. This is what I need. And I will always me, I will never stop going out there and taking time for myself. It's the outlet that for me that I needed. And we all need that outlet. So that's how it started. And then I started reading more about it, how it lowers your stress levels, it enhances your mental well-being, being able again to have that healthy outlet, the flexibility, coordination. And during the time of COVID, it's a getaway when you couldn't get away.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, you definitely got creative, as many of
Yes.
people had to. But this is really unique for a lot of women. Stephanie, as I read, more into Black Girls Hike 2, just the name alone is like, where were you going with that? Is it an unknown truth that Black women don't hike, or
It's a
what? Why
statement.
why that title?
I'm making a very strong statement because when I was going out there, it was everybody but me. I didn't see anybody that looked like me. I'm making a very strong statement. Hold on, guys, we're doing this too because I think we've robbed ourselves of the opportunity to get the healing and get the serenity that we need by I don't like bugs. Oh, it might be some snakes. Oh, you might trip and fall. You could trip and fall going out the stairs or going down outside. Stop it. We put these barriers in front of us without even having a true understanding of what we're getting ourselves into. If a woman right now came out hiking with me, she tried and said it's not for me, sis. I got all the respect for you in the world. It's ones that I was putting it out there and had so much feedback but never experienced it. And then when the women are coming, they're like, I get it. I've not had one person say to me, this isn't for me. When they do come and experience it, then they're like, I get it. I get it.
Now, I know that the focus is particularly for women of color, to
Yes,
expose them, to show them other ways to be physically active. But does
absolutely.
this mean that other women from other, that have different diverse backgrounds are not able to be a part?
For this, for where I'm at right now, my um my target and my audience and my women that I'm meant to minister to, no other way or word to put it, no other way to put it, is Black women of color, um, 18 to 40, essentially. That is that journey from teenage life to early adulthood was a very hard transition for me. And I am very, very focused on that group. That is not to say my white friends have over, my girlfriends are already like, now, Steph, now come on. I'm like, I got y'all. So at some point, I definitely want to open it up to everyone. But when are we going to have some space and be comfortable and say, you know what, this is our space? And that 2020, if 2020 hasn't taught me anything, it's definitely that we need that space. We need our time. And so, yeah, it is a little uh, um, when people are inboxing like, hey, we would like to come. I got you. Again, I got you. But right now, give us our moment. Give us our moment. Nobody knows us like we know us. So just give me my time. And so for right now, yes, it is just for us.
Mm. When the pandemic first started, one of the most important conversations that was happening around that time was who was going to be susceptible to the COVID-19 virus.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the studies that came out was that particularly African American
Mm-hmm.
communities were the ones that would be most susceptible to it because of predisposed conditions,
Right.
already having health issues and ailments. How
Right.
important is physical activity for Black women specifically? Because you are a Black woman, I want to speak just to Black women. But
Right.
how important is that, message in your group?
Absolutely. So we know that I'm no doctor, but I can only speak from personal experience. What I have witnessed, what I have felt, what I have seen my other friends go through, that it is essential. I mean, we're talking vitamin D. When I was reading about how they treat COVID in the hospital and different things that they do, a lot of it consists of not just medicine, but there is some natural things. We're talking about like boosting our immune systems ahead of time. So we do have those conditions and everything. What can we do ahead of time to make sure that we are not um, being more susceptible to it? So I water all day, vitamin D, making sure you're taking all the vitamins, A, B, C, D, or the whole alphabet, and just making time and taking space to focus on that. Because as going back to what I was saying originally, I was very much focused on being a wife. I was very much focused on being a mother, being that teacher, and the entrepreneur things. But you need to make space just to say, okay, what is my morning regimen going to be? Am I doing all the things I can do to boost my immune system, take care of myself? And then we're talking about that stress level too, being able to, how can we lower the stress that life has given us this year?
Mhm.
So
Stephanie, you are not just a beautiful person on the outside. First of all, I want to say you look so
thank
beautiful
you.
today. You're not just a beautiful person on the
Thank
outside,
you.
you're a beautiful person on the inside. And one of the beautiful things that I love about who you are is that you are not afraid to show your truth and to show others.
Yeah, that's real, India.
And there was a post that you did on, I think it was Facebook, and it
Hmm.
may have trans over to Instagram as well. But anyways, I saw it on Facebook, and
Hmm.
you were talking about losing weight, and you were talking about that journey. Talk to me about how that journey has transcended to where you are now.
Oh, child, we don't have enough time for this one. You didn't hit me yet. All right, so let's do this. I was when I say this, know this is my story because I know that we are all beautiful people under the sun, no matter what your weight is. And if you are comfortable at whatever weight you are, rock that, do that, and I big you up. Okay. For me, my highest was 270 pounds. I am 5'5". I at the time, early 30s, it had been a while. So early 30s is when I was at my heaviest. And what I know is that I have a long life ahead of me. So if I know that I have a long life ahead of me and I know that I am a very adventurous person, am I my best self and am I at a healthy a weight for myself? I wasn't. There's no reason why at 30, 31, 32, 33, waking up and why am I in pain? Why am I in pain? Why is my lower back hurting? So it was literally a physical, um, just I couldn't take it anymore. I literally was like, you know what? Listen, you have got to do something. So sure enough, I made a decision to focus on myself. In times where, even now, it's like, hey, you want to come out to eat? You want to do this? Now, mind you, I still go, but I'm not doing the things that I used to do. We're not getting all the advertisers in the entree, okay? We're gonna just go ahead and but it's really just making this, and it's so funny, India, because since I've been able to work hard at it, get to where a comfortable place now, I almost feel like it was kind of it was a huge barrier because a lot of what I'm supposed to be doing consists of physical work,
Mhm.
the hiking, I'm going horseback riding. Like these are all the things, the horseback riding I did as a child. These are all the things that, I would have been robbed of and robbed myself of. Nobody else's responsibility, but we rob ourselves of great opportunities um, because we're just not our best. So that's why it was a priority for me. And I have a 7-year-old who was adopting mommy's habits. If I can keep it 100, like she was adopting mommy's habits. Mommy, let's get a pizza. Mommy, when we gonna get some ice cream? And I'm like, children will really, really show you who you are. Okay. They will show you who you are. My baby was showing me my habits and my comfort and what was comforting to me. And I didn't like what I was seeing. So not only did I have to do it for myself, but this 7-year-old that I'm absolutely, y'all know how much I love my baby girl. The 7-year-old I'm absolutely in love with, I'm saying, still my girl, absolutely love her. No, that, it's love. But I'm like, we have to make some changes, and not nothing that that is unhealthy or I'm teaching her anything. I just want her to be cognizant of it now so that she won't have the problems that mommy had at 30.
Do you think that do you think that the place that you were, when you felt like you were at your highest weight, do you feel like that mindset was a lot different than the one that you have now? Has Stephanie on the inside changed in any way?
Listen, absolutely, that you cannot lose over 90 pounds and still have the same mindset. When that weight was coming and excuse me, when the weight was dropping off of me, I literally would feel more alive every other day, every other week. Like, man, I can do this now. Girl, I run up the steps. I run down steps. Before, I might have been limping, and it's so embarrassing to say, but it's really true. It is like it's the little things that it was funny. I was laughing the other day. I was running. I forgot something in the grocery store. I had to run back and get some salad. Ran back there, and I was like, "Oh, I see you." Like it's the little things that you're like, "Wait, I never could do this before, or never even attempted to do it before." Even getting dressed. And again, I want to be very clear that regardless of what weight you are, if that's you and that's where you're comfortable at, then do that. But I'm talking about, for me, I was uncomfortable, and so now I have fun even like getting dressed. Whereas before it was like, this, oh God, I'm not going. Like it would be that real. Whereas now it's like, I'm gonna talk to India today. Let me go put my little dress on for India. Let me go put my little dress. So it was joy. It's more joy. It's more joy. I'm not physically and figuratively. I am not weighed down. The things that were weighing me down. Let's talk about relationships really quick, because you mentioned is it the same mindset, and then even the things that I would let people get away with, let people say, things that I would let go unchecked.
Not anymore.
I didn't hear you. What did you say? Not anymore. That's not happening. We're going to have very healthy conversations about, hey, listen, that doesn't work for me. Hey, when you did this, what did you mean by, what was your intention with that?
Boosting your confidence.
And I want to say this because I was a very confident person. I was good outwardly. I can put on some makeup. I could put on a wig. What we doing? We doing locks now? Okay, I'm gonna put them up. I can switch the look up here, right? But we're talking about something different. Now we're talking about, do you really feel that on the inside? And for the first time, I did put a post up, another post up, and I was saying, I'm gonna say this, and I don't say this often, but I'm so proud of myself.
Mm.
I am so proud of myself. And I can say that without a hint of being boastful or arrogant. But for like real life, this year has shown me what I'm capable of. And I keep hashtagging, it's only the warm up. It's only the warm up, because even these little things that I've done, they're great. Don't get me wrong. The great things that I've done, it's only a warm up. I'm just getting started, which is crazy to me, because had I told that 23-year-old that was going through that breakup, who felt like life was over and it was miserable and it was this and it was that, her mind would be blown. She literally, because as young people, and we, on Instagram, you've seen everybody shine, you've seen everybody stunting. You have no idea. You just have no idea. You don't have to make $1 million at 23. You literally have a road that you have to walk. That's your journey. It's lessons that you have to learn, lessons that you have to unlearn, traits that you have about yourself that you got to get rid of. I was very selfish. I was a very selfish person, like very selfish. Like, yeah, to people would ask me, "Are you only child?" And I always wonder why they ask me that. Like, that's how selfish. Like, why? I was just concerned about whatever I wanted. Now you got to be open minded. You have to be considerate. You see the posts and things like that. I am very, very yes, transparent, yes, open, but I'm also very mindful of others now. I've learned that over the years. You have to be. At the end of the day, you are my sister. At the end of the day, we are connected. Every time I see one of your shows, I get so excited. Do I see you making more moves and things? We had a conversation. I know I'm getting off. I'm gonna make this 2 seconds.
No, it's fine.
Because I can talk.
Sure.
We had a conversation it was maybe 3 years ago, because this is when the switch started happening. But we had a conversation. Do you remember at the Mill Summit? One of the first or second? Yeah. Well, listen, this conversation.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes.
I just remember looking at you, and I'm like, oh my God, I remember those days.
We have to do. Oh, yes.
I remember those days of feeling when you step in the scene, we know India's here. And I remember talking to you like, girl, you got it. And
Yeah.
you were like, and you said, long story short, you just were like, you got it too. Just remember you got it. And that started, that definitely, it was the conversations like that was like, all right, Steph, get back on it. You're not just a wife. You're not just a mom. You are a whole woman. You are a whole, a woman with a purpose, And so thank you. Thanks.
You're so
Thanks, girl.
My memory is so bad. So when people are like, "Do you remember?" I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I do remember.
Just know you're planting seeds. Like, so whether you remember or not, just know you planted a seed in my mind and in my heart.
Oh my God, that is so. Now you're planting seeds in the heart.
Let me give you what Gabby gives me. Let me shoot you like. That's low.
Wow, Steph, thank you so much for that, and just for reminding me of why I do what I do. Because again, this is the purpose of it. It's to make sure that people like you don't lose their light, don't lose their fight in this world that can be so crazy.
Yes.
We have a purpose here. There's still more that can be done, and you're one of the people doing it. So I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And I love again the fact that you have now put that into your work.
Yes, ma'am.
What you do. So let's just take it back to Black Girls Hike 2 for a second. How were you able? You talk about getting out of your comfort zone in a lot of situations in your life, but how were you able to convince other women to do the same thing?
This question, I have the answer, but it's going to sound crazy. So if we're in a safe space, I don't know about your audience, but if we're in a safe space, non-judgmental zone, I'm going to share. All right. If you can give me that guarantee. I'm going to be honest with you. When I'm coming up with an idea, they be with it. That's just, I don't know. It's just that je ne sais quoi, as they call it. That's like, hey guys, let's try this. It's like, okay, girl, let's go.
And maybe it's because you're so confident in what it is that you're suggesting, or maybe because they know that, you wouldn't offer it to them if you wouldn't do it.
Yes. Honestly, I really wish there was another, way I could say that. But when I come up with an idea, no matter how crazy, and it could be 5 women, it could be 10, it could be 15. This next one look a little crazy. It could be a whole lot, But what happens is that, and even people I admire, when you admire somebody, they got that sauce, and that they are really, you're aligning with them. When they say move, it's time to move. I've just recently taken a dance class, and I like this instructor. She's dope. She's honest. She's raw. She's gritty. So when she says, boom, we got to do this, and no matter how direct she is, it goes. I'm just giving an example of how I do the same thing. That when I trust somebody and I see how dope they are, what's up? What we doing? So it's the same thing on my side.
And I think that's a key to entrepreneurship. Wants to buy anything that you sell if they don't trust you. And Steve Jobs says people don't buy what you have or your product; they buy who you are. They buy your story.
That's it.
And so, just listening to your story, I'm sure that you had the chance to share with some of the women, or has this been kind of a thing as it's a one-on-one, they talk to you when you can, or did you open up and share that story in the beginning?
Okay, so how the hikes go, I have not shared my full story. A lot of people know my story because I've shared at different events I've hosted or spoke at and things like that. But with the hike, I have not shared my 15 years of this womanhood thing, right? I have not shared that. But what I do is that when we start hiking, everything we do is with intention. So I always open it up by saying, ladies, what are you leaving in the woods? What are we leaving out here? because what was not going to happen, I don't waste time. I don't like wasting my time. I don't want to waste your time. So we're going out there, we circle up, we're stretching, but we're thinking and being very intentional about why we're doing this. And so I've had women open up and say, I'm leaving self-harm in the woods. I'm leaving the need for other people's approval. I am leaving, depression. I'm leaving anxiety. I'm leaving this and I'm leaving that. There have been to the point where I literally have to have a straight face, like and not show any emotion. You know how that is? It's like you don't even know what people are dealing with. But in that circle and the things that they've shared, so that's the first thing. We set our intention about what we're leaving. Midway through the hike, then we stop. And I say, give me a high and a low about life. Everybody, our whole social media is filled with our highs. We all do it. But tell me about your low. We've had estranged relationships. We had divorces. We've had my child isn't listening, and my child isn't doing well in school. We've had I'm hurting on the inside. So this is the low. And then again, we bring it back to the high. What things can we, the low, what are we going to focus on and give our attention to and pray about and keep each other accountable on? But then the high is, okay, knowing that there's more sunshine after all of this low, that we still have something positive to look towards. So that's midway. And then I just keep in contact through them in the IG page at Black Girls Hike 2, COO, let's be clear. And it's a community. It's a community that's being built fast. Okay. Fast. And not even Delaware. Not just Delaware.
Right.
I mean, women are tagging this page from all across the country, and I cannot wait because one of the ultimate goals is we're going to take the show on the road and we're going to travel. We're going to link up with other fellow hikers. So, yes,
that is
it's
exciting.
powerful. It's catching. You felt it. It's powerful.
And I'm like, wow, I want to go and share my high and my low now.
Yes, girl, absolutely.
But I will be, looking more into that. I think I love it. What are some of the hiking trails that you all have explored so far?
Absolutely. So White Clay Creek Preserve, that is my number one spot. I love that place. There's like literally 9 entrances to the trails, and some are, when I started out, just still with regular elevation. There was no nothing I had to climb. And then as I got more comfortable, I would look into more elevation, more rocky. I like a challenge. I honestly like a challenge. I hate to be bored. So things that I could challenge. But White Clay is hands down the best. Chestnut Hill, Mid Valley Run. There's an app that I use, and I'm not one who's stingy about it. So it's All Trails. So if you're ever looking to go out and just want to explore a little bit, All Trails is an app that you can go in, try it, shows you wherever area. So if I'm in Pennsylvania, I can see all the ones in there. If I'm in Jersey, if I'm in Maryland, if I'm here, it shows you what's in your vicinity to do.
Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
There's a quote that says, you can have the recipe, but you don't have the sauce. I'm the sauce. So you're the sauce,
I mean, I didn't want to say no. Do whatever y'all want to do, but if you're trying to do
your organization, your club, it's the sauce. So people to experience
I love you. Yes,
the way
you're right.
you do it.
So true.
But, what are some other activities that you all have participated in that have been memorable experiences?
So other activities, man, camping is a vibe. Camping is a vibe. So I shared this story. This lady, her name is Janae, and she is my new bestie. I absolutely love Janae. She, again, is one of those women that say, yeah, you're doing good, sis, but let me show you something else. And she has opened what I want to ultimately do with my life, she is doing. All she does is plan fun things to do. She is essentially a travel agent of sorts, but I mean, life experiences. So she reached out, long story short, she reached out and said, hey, I see this group. You're phenomenal, girl. I had just started the page like the week before, but she was like, can your group come camping with us? I'm like, oh, definitely. So we go camping. They had these lodges. It was a Black owned business. And so it's not just going to be the hiking aspect, but then other elements of nature to incorporate. I would love to do some gardening events and things like that. So it's going to be some things. I tend to overwhelm myself. So that's why I want to, because then I feel like once I put it out there, I'm like, oh, I got to do this next week. I'm not doing it next week. I'm shutting down seasonally, and I am going to start next spring again. But Yeah, that's been some activities.
I did see one of the things that you guys did was with the ATVs and
Oh yes, 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 yes. I forgot about that. Say that last part again.
talk to me about that. How was it?
Man, it was amazing. It was amazing. I wanted to get some women together. Again, I had a birthday trip that I was supposed to be going ATV riding for the first time. But I was like, all is not lost, girl. Go find it locally. Find it locally. So I found it up in Jersey, and some women was on board to rock out with me, and it was an experience. And I have this thing, and I've never even voiced it, or I've known it's there, but I'm gonna say this. I have a thing in playing in what's typically a male thing, if that makes sense. A male field, I like testing myself, like, yo, could you really do it? Like, I like testing myself. Like, I want to box. I want to just try boxing. Like, why not? I don't know what it's about. I don't know. But so ATVs, like normally it's like, we would look cute on the back, a little like a dude riding it. We like, hey, no, what about you driving it? Can you drive it? Can you, steer it? Can you? And that's what's my speech, because I always got speech before we do something intention. But I'm like, girls, like, think about you being the driver of your life. You got to brake. You got to pause. You got to be able to turn up, have a good time. When somebody's stopping in front of you, do you have it enough, the quickness and everything to halt, Can you enjoy yourself? Can you go over those hills? Can you do that? So many times we're looking for happiness and looking for adventure and looking for so much excitement from other people. What about you? Are you going to give yourself that? So that's what that was about.
Your analogies are next level. Okay.
Oh, listen, she's deep.
Guys, I do not mean to toot her horn right now.
You ain't got to toot it, baby.
That was next level. I like that. I like that a lot. So I don't know if this other event was a part of Black Girls Hike too, but I did see you guys went to there was this place where you were like smashing glass and breaking things, but it's actually a place that is used for therapeutic reasons.
The rage room. And no, that was just something that I just wanted to do. We got stuff, and that's another thing. Let's just pause there. As women, we make up and we dress and we hair and we do all of these things for us, right? But there's a lot of things that we're dealing with that's not so pretty. It's just not so pretty. And when do we give ourselves space to deal with that? So that's what that was about. That we don't have to, again, just be always just so nice and so appeasing and put a smile on your face. I don't want to smile right now, actually. I don't want to smile. Actually, I want to break something. And when I saw those break, the rage room, I said, we must go. We had a great, with my girlfriend, we had a great time there. We had an amazing time. Again, stress. I cannot be on 10 if I'm not getting those negative feelings out. How could I feel the feelings of joy? How could I feel the feelings of happiness and being able to inspire somebody else if I'm so weighed down by what I have going on? We need our outlets. We have to give ourselves time and space to get those things out and not be ashamed to share.
What is the most important message? There's a lot of different messaging that you have, like we talked about the ATVs and we talked about hiking, different things. What's the most important message that you try to get across to new incoming women when they come?
New incoming women, I feel like the biggest message, this one is tough. I'm gonna say the camaraderie. And I say that because behind closed doors, especially this year, we've dealt with a lot. And I know so many women that are so closed off. I mean, I literally could ask a question, how are you? Fine. Now, number one, it was too quick. My mom and dad used to say, don't be answering me all quick. You got to think about it. Think about it. So the camaraderie, when you come to any of my events, when you come to any of my whatever I'm doing, you are going to see a sense of camaraderie that you may not see other places, because it is that transparency. It is that boldness to be fearless and be open, because I've dealt with, I was raised in a church, and as much as I love God, I love church, I love the institution of it, but we got to be very, very mindful that we are not, if this person doesn't align with what we think is right, that we're not judging them. And that's something that I've seen, again, haven't been to, it felt like every church in Jersey and Delaware, but I fight against people saying, okay, if you don't align with this and if you don't align with that, then you're ousted. And we have to be open-minded. We have to be open-hearted. We have to reach people by, showing them the true love of God. And that's where I'm at with it. I'm not in the cliques. I am my clique. Like I am my own. My husband taught me that, that you are the party. You are, that magnet, and show other people how they are a magnet, how they can attract others and inspire others. Going back to your question, though, is camaraderie. And when I was like just thinking, what is camaraderie? What is camaraderie? I had to look it up, but it's called. It said it's group loyalty. Group loyalty, a shared commitment, and a discipline to do the work. So that means when you talk to me and you tell me, sis, I got this X, Y, and Z I have going on. Group loyalty. I'm gonna be loyal to you because I know where you want to be. Then I'm going to help you. That shared commitment, right? That I have things I need to do and accomplish. You have it, and I'm going to hold you to that. And we both going to rock out with the discipline to do the work. We're better together. We are so much better together, and that's what this is. The biggest message is.
I like that. What is the most challenging part for you, Stephanie, of being a wife, a mother, an entrepreneur, and all of the experiences that come with that? What is the most challenging part?
That I think I can do it all. That I think I can do it all at the same time. That I think I can do it all by myself. And I can, but would it be easier to ask for help? This is how I talk to myself, right? And so I'm very much manifesting an assistant. I'm very much manifesting. I have my little cousin, a house cleaner. I have a little help there. A little song. Look out for a cousin. And so I'm very much manifesting things that probably, when you say it's just like, girl, but I need it. I don't know what to tell you. I have work to do. In order for me to do my work, I am going to need help. So that has been the hardest part, that, there have been plenty of dinners that just get ordered because I'm over here planning the next event. There are times that, my friend might be helping my daughter with her homework because I'm over here, doing something else. So it's the asking for help and finally being in a place where I'm like, listen, if I need it, I'm manifesting it, I'm asking for it, and I'm going to welcome it into my life.
What advice do you give to women who feel regret or shame, or they feel bad when they have to step away from their child because they are on this side chasing this dream?
I think my baby is so independent. She is so independent, and when she needs me, she vocalizes that. So my advice is that your kid and your children will be okay. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. It's very simple, but they really will be okay, and have those conversations. Me and her talk like, we talk like we're right here. Are you good? Last night I was going to the mall. I looked at my daughter. I said, listen, I know mommy didn't get a chance to help with homework yet. Daddy was gonna help. I was like, but are you okay? Should we spend some time together? I was like, because I wanted to go to the mall. She said, girl, I'm fine. She said, girl, I'm fine. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go. I'll be right, I'll be back or whatever. And she'll tell me, mom, you came back a little too late. Like, that's the relationship. So talk to your children, communicate with them. They're little people. They are little people with their own thoughts, own minds. And if you ask them the questions, don't just do this, but if you ask them the questions, hey, how's mommy doing? Hi, are we good? They will give you the answers, and then you listen and you make those adjustments. But I just talk to my kid. I don't feel guilty. I don't have the mom guilt sometimes tries to creep up, but I don't have it as much as I used to have it. I just know that's going to lead to something greater for not only myself, but our family, and in turn her.
Is there any key advice to get rid of it, shake it off, so that it's not taking over your mindset?
Find your outlet. This is why I say we need our outlet, whether that is sewing, whether that is, I don't know, there's tons on Pinterest. Find a hobby. We need hobbies. Back in the day, they had hobby. Remember, the grandmas and aunties, they had hobbies. I would walk in. My grandma, her thing was cooking. Cooking, hence the gaining the weight, whatever. That's a whole nother thing, but whatever. It was always a pie. It was always some sort of dessert or some sort of big old spread, and that was her outlet, and that's the way she showed people love. And so I feel like now social media seems like it's become our hobby. Your stunt becomes our hobby. Yeah, what is that adding up to? What legacy and what message, or what are you doing? Do something that's going to be meaningful. Do something that's going to be powerful. Do things that are going to really make a difference in somebody else's life. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's so true. Oprah's not going to be around the rest of, just forever. The Maya Angelou was so impactful in my young life. She's passed away. So who's going to step up, inspire people? Who is going to do that? We got to do that. This is our time.
Well, you led me right into my next question, Stephanie, of bringing up Maya, bringing up Oprah. But who are the women in your life that have helped to keep your fire burning, and keep you dedicated to your journey?
My spiritual mother is Dr. Cindy Trim. She is a warrior. She is a minister, and she is a preacher that I've been following for years now. Iyanla is my like philosophical mentor. Michelle is my like boss, wife, mom, mentor. Oprah is just my everything. So there's just, I mean, let me see. Maya is my poetry side and my expression through words. And then I have women that are in my life, that I hold dear to myself. Obviously, my mom. My mom is one who all her life she put into raising her girls. I have my best friend who is very much a boss, just like myself, who's like, no, now do this, now do this, and then helps me every time I'm having like, all right, okay, now breathe. Now what we gonna do? Like, it's just being surrounded by just dope women, and then even when you're not surrounded by them, being able to look at those mentors, it's like, yo, yeah, that's what I want for my life. I need that. I need a piece of that.
What's the legacy that you want to leave behind, Stephanie? Of course, we don't expect that anytime soon, but like you said, one day we all won't be here. So
Yes, it's so true.
what is that message or that legacy that you want to leave
Love God, love God, keep God first, because you can't do this life by yourself. This life is hard. It's so hard. So love God and keep God first in your life. Love yourself and see yourself as God sees you. Because once you do that, your whole life changes. There's no insecurities. There's no, uh, um, you might have your moments, but when you see God, yourself as beautiful as God sees you, you're unstoppable. And then love other people. Don't be selfish. Don't be so consumed on you and yours, but check in on people. I have a habit every other day. I'm like randomly somebody's like, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" Take care of yourself, take care of others. Just be a good person.
One of the thoughtful events that you had that I think really speaks to the message that you want to leave behind for your legacy was just after the murder of George Floyd, and you had a candlelight vigil just to check in on people. Talk to me about that experience and why that was one of the highlights of your year.
Yes. India, you just remember all the things. And this has been a powerful, you're really bringing some, I'm like, wow. So with that, I had said at that candlelight visual and prayer, I said, looters are gonna loot, shooters are gonna shoot, but you can't be mad at someone else for doing their job when you haven't. And what I mean by that is that there has been a lot that has happened in this world, but when you are someone who is very well spiritually connected and connected to God, have I been praying enough? Have I been, doing everything that I need to do? And that was another sense of awakening. So that was my message to everyone else. Yes, things I wish I could say things weren't like that weren't gonna happen. I wish I could say, we need to end this, and we do. We need to do our work to do it. But in the event that it never stopped, are we stepping up to the plate and doing all that we are called to do? Are we just criticizing other people for doing wrong things? Let's do more good. Like, let's do more good. Let's do what we can control, you know? So that was the message. And people needed a space to just grieve. We were grieving. We needed a place to say, here's how I'm feeling. I'm confused. I'm scared. I'm threatened. I'm sad. I'm angry. You know, yeah, I see you praying, but this is the way I feel. We needed a space to do that. Guess what? No judgment, all open, safe space. We needed that place. And that is what I want to create. That is what I want to create is spaces for if women need to come and talk about their life. If couples need to come together and they need to have some fun, you know, if we need to come together for an open mic and just express ourselves, then let's provide that space, especially this year. People just needed somewhere to go to be heard. As human beings, we want to be seen and we want to be heard. And if one of those two things aren't happening, oh, we're going to find a way to be seen and heard.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
most definitely. I mean, thank you, Stephanie, for just being here today and sharing this
so welcome.
space for people to hear about what they can do to stay uplifted.
Yes.
Because, like you said, there's so much happening in every corner of the earth. I mean, we were just talking about George Floyd, but now we have a police brutality issue that's currently going on right now in
Yes.
Nigeria.
Yes.
And SARS protests. If you have not heard about that, please
Hmm.
look that up and
I
look at
will.
what's happening in Nigeria, everyone. But it's a lot. It's a lot to carry. So spaces like the ones that you create are so, so important. Stephanie, tell me what's next for you.
Okay, so I'm gonna slow down a bit. It's time to focus on some family. It's time to get through these holidays and have a good time there, right? And make those memories. But I do want to mention two open mics that are coming up. It's a two-part series, and it's called Love Letters and Diss Tracks. Because listen, we can either tell this year how much we loved it and how much we got in touch with stuff, or we could say, you know what, I never want to see you again, you raggedy, you know, we can do that. So it's Love Letters and Diss Tracks.
You
So
are
that is going to be November 19th. It's a Thursday. And then the following month, the December 19th, is going to be a Thursday night as well. It's going to be at Artscape. It's going to be at 7 p.m. I have some amazing featured artists. I'm hoping that, a little host that up on India might come there because I heard that she get busy. I saw the video. So it's gonna be a vibe, and those are the two bits. We got a two-part open mic series. Please stay up on that. My Instagram is at Steffi with an I, Steffi Sanford, and I'm really looking forward for us having a amazing vibe together. The last one that we do lattes and lyrics at Milk and Honey, and somebody came up to me after all the artists and after all these powerful impartations they received through words. Somebody came up to me and thanked me because I create things and I put it together, but I'll be sitting back like this, like a student in class, just absorbing it myself. And somebody came up to me and they just said, thank you for creating the vibe. I was like, yeah, you're right. Thank you. I get it. I get it.
right.
So that space when you walk in and you just feel the love, that space when it's like, I see you, sis, and I hear you, and I see how intelligent you are, and I see where you were going in that message. When it's one thing to be complimented on your looks. I'm so over that, honestly. But when somebody compliments you on this, it hit different. It hits a little bit different. I could get in a car accident. I'm not gonna say, Lord, no, I don't want that. But you understand what I'm saying? All this physical, it could change. But nobody can take this. Nobody can take this. And so when you walk into those places and these events that I'm putting together, you're gonna feel the love. You're gonna feel the appreciation for your heart and your mind.
Well, I welcome all of you that are watching to make sure you get out there. And if you're in Delaware, go support Stephanie and check out everything that she has going on. And one more time for our viewers to know where they can find you, where they can look at Black Girls Hike too.
Absolutely. All right, so the Instagram page is at Steffi Sanford. That's my personal page where I share just random family, fun, life things. And I do share my events. And then for the hiking page is at Black Girls Hike Too. Everything is spelled regular and it's TOO. So for any updates there, our October 31st hike is completely sold out. I literally cannot take one more person. However, we are going to come back. I'm going to come back for y'all in spring 2021, and it's going to be, oh, I cannot wait. It's going to be much more organized. I'm going to have the website up by then. These are all promises I'm going to put out there even now. The website will be created. The destinations will be greater and better. We're going to link up with some people from fellow other states, if permissible. So it's going to be, follow the page for all the updates. And if you go hiking, to holla at a player, like tag me, let me know, like, yo, Steph, I'm out here. I did what you said. Black Girls Hike Too.
I'm glad we were able to put you on the show just before you blow, and then hopefully we'll be getting you right back on to talk about the progress and everything that's going on. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for being here.
Thank you, India. Thank you so much.
And thank you to all of you for watching. Yes, you can always get your news and updated information right here on Up with India on at WITN 22 Wilm. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.